To set up pieces on the chessboard, first you need to place the board correctly. So which one of these is the correct way to keep the board? Well, the correct one is the one on the right. And the reason is that whenever you keep the board on the table, you have to make sure that the white square is always on your right. It doesn't matter with what color pieces you play, the white color square should always be on the right. Alright? Now after placing the chessboard correctly, where should we place our army pieces? So, if you give a closer look, all these 8 columns have alphabets written on them. So that means each column has a unique name. So this is column A, this is column B, this is column C, this is column D, E, F, G and H. Similarly, all these 8 rows on the chessboard have got different numbers from 1 to 8. So this is the first row, this is second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, sixth row, seventh and eighth row. Columns are called as files in chess and rows are called as ranks in chess. And by the rule, the white pieces always occupy the first rank and the second rank. And if you are playing with the black pieces, then they would occupy the 7th rank and the 8th rank. So that's the correct way of putting your army on the correct side of the board. So we will begin with the most simplest and the most smallest piece, and that is the pawns. So each player gets 8 pawns and all the pawns stand on the second rank like this. Similarly, all the black pawns would stand on the 7th rank. These pawns look like some kind of a gate to the main army. Now let's start placing the other pieces on the board, starting with the king and the queen. Now since the king is the most important piece, while the queen is the most powerful piece in the game, both of them will occupy the center squares of these rows. And since the queen wants to match everything with the color of her dress, that is why the white queen decided to sit on the white square and the queen wearing the black dress decided to sit on the black square. And since the kings are really not concerned about the color of the square, that is why they occupy the other center squares of these rows. Easy? Now let's place the bishop. Now since you know bishops marry the king and the queen, so that is why bishops will occupy the place right next to the king and the queen. So one bishop will go here and the other bishop will go here. Similarly for the black army, one bishop will be placed here and the other will be placed here. After the bishops comes the knights. The knights in shining armor. The knights are placed next to the bishop here and here. The same would apply for the black army. One knight would be placed here and the other knight would be placed here. And now the only piece that remains is the rook, and the rook would occupy the corners of the board. Same would be for the black army. Now I'll give you one more easy way to remember this. Just take the abbreviation of this bishop, knight and rook. The abbreviation of these would be B, B for bishop, K for knight and R for rook. And if you put B, K, R together, it sounds like a word baker. So you can remember the word baker, B, K, R. So you know bishop, knight and rook, that's the order. So after the king and queen are placed in the center of this row, the order would be B, K, R. So first the bishop would come, the knight and the rook. B, K, R, B, K, R, B, K, R, bishop, knight, rook. Isn't this easy? I'm sure you must have loved this video. So please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my lovely membership program that I have for you. And now before signing off, I have an important question for you which I want you to answer in the comments box. So my question is, when you set up the board, where would you place this black queen? On which square it would go? Will it go on the E8 square or will it go on the D8 square? Let me know your answers in the comments box and I shall meet you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.